And now it's time for another edition of What Would Jello Do? Our topic du jour is other important demonstrations that haven't gotten the same media attention as Occupy Wall Street, and I sure hope they do soon. Little did we know that an estimated 8,000 to 10,000 people demonstrated at the White House, linked arms, and surrounded the White House to protest the Keystone XL pipeline. That's the pipeline they want to build all the way from those filthy oil sands that are already destroying native land and some of those beautiful mountains in the world in northern Alberta, and pipe it all the way down to Houston and Port Arthur, Texas, which means it won't end America's dependence on oil. This is for export. Besides, shouldn't we be working to end our dependence on oil altogether? Have the demonstrations worked? Yes. But we will need more. The Obama administration just announced they're postponing a decision on whether to approve the Keystone XL pipeline, since they finally realized it was going to make them to look pretty bad that the consultants that were hired to approve the environmental impact statement were hired by the Bush administration. So, and Obama alone, it's his decision on whether to approve this or not. It's not a treaty that goes through the Senate. So keep up the heat. We are getting somewhere. And meanwhile, another one that's gotten even less media coverage, check this one out. 12,000 prisoners in the California prison system have gone on a hunger strike to protest inhuman conditions, some of which would violate the Geneva Convention as surely as Guantanamo Bay does. Same thing. They're protesting so many people being put in isolation in prisons. 25,000 people are now in 23-hour-a-day solitary in this country. And a lot of them are only there because they're young suspected gang members being tortured in hopes that they will give up another gang member that they can then throw in solitary. But once you've done that and you get out of prison, guess what's going to happen to you? Some choice. Death penalty for being a snitch, or we'll torture it out of you. Wonder why it doesn't work. They called a suspension in mid-October because some of the demands were starting to be met, but it may restart at any time because it was supposed to be a 3-week suspension. But check these demands out too. In America, demands for adequate, nutritious food, sunlight, health care, one measly phone call a week, basic art supplies like colored pencils and colored pens and a little bit of paper, being allowed to have your picture taken once a year. This is how nasty we are to these people. And an end to having the prison authorities deliberately mix up their mail to other rival gang members and things like that. And of course, an end to isolation, which in a few cases, this is starting to bear some fruit. Isolation is, after all, certified as torture. I have no doubt that some of the reason they're reluctant to bring the people they've been holding for over 10 years in Guantanamo Bay to trial is because they've been tortured so bad they've cracked up and gone clinically insane. We've already seen some of this in the rare public appearances of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, who was waterboarded, 180-something times? Some people in the Calipatria prison in California have protested that they've been held in isolation for 4 years or more, just in case they snitch, and even after they went on a hunger strike, withheld water and vitamins. This is going on right under our nose. Part of the reason we don't know about it is prisoners are legally forbidden to talk to the media, something Governor Jerry Brown could lift tomorrow. Why doesn't he do it? And let's not forget the obscene torture going on against Bradley Manning, a courageous, patriotic whistleblower who leaked footage of America committing a war crime to WikiLeaks. In isolation, as far as I know, ever since, held naked a lot of the time. Maybe they finally charged him with something, but how about a trial? How about letting somebody defend themselves? What are they scared of? That the American people might realize he was doing the right thing and start asking questions? Things like that. This is the sort of thing that we expected to be long done when we got rid of Clown Prince George W. Bush and Prince of Darkness Dick Cheney and the rest of those obsessive, torture-minded fascists. Instead, our audacity to hope for any change has been torpedoed and thrown in solitary. So, solidarity with the prisoners of California trying to improve a really bad situation.